G'day guys. I've already spent way too much time doing the workings for this particular thing, so I just simply want to get it out and just show you the actual results. So this morning I went past a car park down in Mount Martha, down into this location right here, and I set up my dumpy level, and I estimated it was be about 20 meters high, end up being roughly 13 meters high. Either way, I saw a ship passing up the port, and I noticed it going past the Yuyangs, which is this mountain set over here. We've got Flinders Peak here. We've got something called the Saddle. Is a saddle over here. This mountain is sort of unnamed, but I'm going to call it Bunjil because that's Bunjil right there. And so there's these three peaks, and they actually look like pyramids from this position over here. So I got the dumpy out, and then I did that measurement across there. I took some screenshots of the particular ship that was passing through, and I've gone ahead and done a little bit of background work on it. So the ship is this particular ship. Where's the name? It doesn't say it on that one. There must be just a backup one. Okay, so this is the particular ship. It's a GSL Vinia. Not too sure where it's from. Don't really care. GSL Vinia. It's a ship that was passing up towards Melbourne this morning. And this, of course, is the screenshot of it passing through. The location where I was at was this car park, as I showed before on Google Maps, and I've estimated the contours to be about somewhere between 12.5 to about 12.6. Over the other side at Yuyangs, Flinders Peak is definitely marked. It's got an AHD height, Australian Heights datum, of 352 at that peak. There's nothing over here, but I did do some contour. I found some contours which says that Bunjil Peak is roughly 280 plus and Saddle Peak is 260 plus. And so this is the Yuyangs here. So we've got Flinders Peak. This is the saddle over here. That's Bunjil, the little watery area, but the peak is somewhere over there. So can't really look at that. And as you can see here, this is where my dropper was, and so that proves my location. Onto the workings. So this is all the workings right here. So I've tried to summarize it, but what I'll do is I'll actually show the footage for you now, so that you can kind of get the summary of what I was talking about. Okay, here's that ship. You can see that the crosshair is almost on the top containers as we speak right now. Now you can see that the horizon is below the crosshair. Well, I'll lift it just a bit. Alright, so you can see it's passing there. Now I'm going to see if I can twist it slightly and see if I can see where the Yuyangs is. See the Yuyangs? Man, it's hard to see. I don't know if I've gone past or not. Alignment's pretty close, so it must be the Yuyangs just right here. Here you go. See the points? So this is where my crosshair is on the thing. Now, I don't 100% know how high I am right now. I couldn't be more than about maybe 20 to 30 meters tops. Oh. And I'm assuming Yuyangs is probably about like 150 meters tall, so we're probably well over 75 or 80 meters tall on the Yuyangs right now. So I'll find the location and I'll find the contours later. So this is the location of my my dumpy, I guess, and there's the cafe over there, which I don't recall what the street is, but either way, this is the location. And let me see if I can zoom in on the actual ship. Okay, so there's the ship on its way out to Melbourne. And where's the Yuyangs? I can't see. I can't really see anything because of the sun. think it's right there. See the Yuyangs? Right over there. So we just passed by that only just a few seconds ago. So there's the ship going to Melbourne right now. Now, as a point of reference, I figured I'd quickly pivot it around to, oh, come on, get me in close. I figured I'd pivot it to go and look at the city. Now, I don't know if it's quite pointed at Eureka Tower right now, but what it looks like is it looks like it's halfway up, but that's obviously deceptive because what is the actual water horizon height? We don't really know. But either way, my position, which feels like 20 meters high, because as you can see down over here, it only really looks like about 20 meters or so is coming halfway up Eureka. So okay, now that you've seen the videos, what I'm going to show you, so I've got the Mount Martha observation location, I've got the location with coordinates, I've got the observer height of 12.6, I added 1.6 for what I believe to be roughly sort of nose height, is where I think I set up the dumpy. So I didn't actually measure where it actually was, but it was close enough to nose level. So the observation height is roughly about 14.2, which is far more accurate than you get for most people anyway. So 14.2 is a pretty good number. I quickly checked online shipping containers. I've drawn tons of these before, but I figured I'd just go and get a double checker just to make sure. So I've got the height and the length. The ship was 16 containers wide, and each container is about 2.6 meters high. And so I did some quick estimations. So I counted 4, put a line to the top, line to the bottom, and I divided it and tried to get this thing scaled up. The crosshair on the particular level is, I believe, about 21.8 above what would be the water sort of water height. My estimation on what the boat is about 40 meters. Let me just double check this. So I got the date, 24th of June 2025. It was around about 10:48 a.m. The ship was called GSL Vinia. The estimated height is about 40 meters. The estimated strike height was about 21.8, and my estimated range was about 8.91. Now I've estimated that 8.91 by just drawing a line from this point to that point. I found out what that distance is, and then I scaled this, and then I roughly estimated where it would have passed through. I think it passed somewhere around about here, so near enough, close enough. It's about as good as what you're going to get. So I don't have the coordinates because apparently Ruhiv says that I've got to look at a different app. So I'm sorry if I don't have the coordinates, but I think I've given you some good numbers. So so that's that particular height. Now, as I said before, Flinders Peak 352. I believe that the Saddle Peak is estimated about 260 meters, and the distance to Flinders Peak is about 62.2 meters. Now, one of the things I noticed was that the crosshair line did seem to be cutting almost right at the top of some of the flatter parts of this Saddle Peak at the back. So Flinders Peak was definitely above, but a lot of this Saddle Peak at the back was generally underneath this line. And obviously it's very, very blurry. There's a lot of haze. But when I was looking left and right, it was clear to me that this crosshair line was roughly at that Saddle Peak sort of height, which is somewhere between 240, 260 or greater. So this is my estimate on where the true ground is below the actual sea level. And so I've just done some rough estimates. I'm not even worried about this particular thing because I think it's already shot the flat Earth dead already as it is, because over here we're talking about me being at 14.2, and then this being at 240, 260. So it's already what is that? It's already like 20 times the height already. we're not talking about 14.2 meters over here. We're talking about somewhere between 240 to 260 meters in height. So it's already very, very, very obvious that this particular mountain has sunken down below crosshair height. That's very, very obvious to me. Now, I've drawn it to scale here. This doesn't look very much to scale because it's all clumped together. But the eye height, as you can see here, car park level of 12.6, eye height of 14.2. That's the eye level. This is the beach level here. So this beach I estimate to be 14.2 below the eyepiece. I believe that the water underneath the ship is about 7.6 meters below what this beach is to be estimated at over here, right? So this is my eye level over here, and I believe the water is 21.8 meters below the eye level, 40 meter high boat. And when I make this estimation, which is already completely massive already, so accuracy I don't even think even matters because it's such a clear win as it is. I estimate to be about 220 meters in difference from the ship. So it's very clear that seeing to the ship and then seeing to the mountain, it just continued to get worse and worse and worse. I mean, I've looked 9 kilometers to the boat, and I've looked 60 kilometers to there. So that's another, we'd say 50 kilometers to get to the mountaintop. And so that's where most of that difference has already happened. So check my numbers, I guess. I would assume that there's probably going to be a little bit of error in there. I have no doubt, because I mean, I've just tried to scale and estimate things. But you can go out there and do your your long range, drop calculator type scenario. But this is what I feel from what I've scaled to be a rough estimate of where some of these ground levels are. So, I don't know how anyone could say it's a flat Earth when clearly there is differences in where we would assume the ground level to be. At distance. I might just do one small thing. So let me just find. I'll just find out what the distance is between the peak of this to what the sea level looks like. So it looks like about 320. So what's this? So offset 3. So this level here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to color it blue. I'm going to write it down 320 below. .320 below eye level. So this is the sea on that image right there. That's the sea in front. So the sea looks like it's about 320 meters below eye level when it's on that side of the bay. So very clear when you use precision instruments, when you use an auto level that levels to the tangent of gravity. So very clear win for Globe Earth. I'd like to see a flat Earth, or even bother to even suggest a way that this, well, not that it's wrong, because I mean I've got errors across it, but how can they say that how those differences of 7.6 meters and distances of 320 meters below eye level? So those are massive. I'll leave it there. Show me your results. It should be fun. Thank you.